There are spoilers. You have been warned. Like someone's gonna watch this crap. I cracked myself up. What is up, guys? My name is Shug, and this is our second episode of Anime Opinion. And our anime today is Akame ga Kill, a story where good guys and bad guys can't even tell which is which. In Anime Opinion, we go over 4 things, if you haven't seen the first episode, which will be down in the description. We go over story, characters, art, and sounds, and soundtrack, or just mix them two together. So let's get to it. The story is about an evil minister who influences the young emperor to make horrible decisions that he does, which is why their country lives in fear. Our main character becomes part of Night Raid, an assassination team that says the best way to help their country is to kill the minister and stop everything from the inside out. Every member of Night Raid has an amazing weapon called Imperial Arms, which were made by the first emperor and scattered across the land. What I really like about this series is that anyone and almost everyone will die, but not just Night Raid, but on both sides of the spectrum. The story goes quite well, but is super duper rushed. By the last couple episodes, people are dying left and right, even the main character. Which it didn't really make sense because in the end he went all Dragon Ball Z on everyone and turned golden, but who cares? That's exactly what the show does. It kills off a character and by the end gets back to its funny tune. For most, the deaths of favorite characters were told to me by others to be an emotional roller coaster, but not for me. I learned not to care because they were going to die. It's like telling someone they have one day to live and then falling in love with that someone within those 24 hours. Our male protagonist in the story sucks so much that I prefer to call him Bland Man. Even though the show is called Akame ga Kill, the main character is Tatsumi, not Akame. He seems to have a strand of DNA from every single male character in existence, which is a little bothering to some and myself. Honestly, every character besides 2 in the series are good people. They're just on the wrong side. You see, there's the group of assassins that are supposedly good, but looked as bad guys in the eye of the public, called Night Raid. And then you have the Capital's defense team, the Jaegers, which are almost exact copies of each other, down to where they almost have the exact same weapons as well. I actually really like the art in the series because it shows how everyone doesn't fight the exact same way. And there's a lot of gore, so when there's death, there's death. There's no coming back from it. And I love how it shows that though. The only part that I didn't understand is when one character in specific got her arm chopped off and then there was a gun under there. How do you how do you know you're gonna get sliced in that exact same place? To pop a gun out of your arm doesn't really make sense. And then she has a gun in her mouth as well. Is she like choking on that thing for all eternity or what? But it's just a little weird and some of the deaths aren't really worth it. It starts just destroying everyone and not really caring for it. Like the last 2 deaths in the series, like of the good guys, the Night Raid, it shouldn't happen. And if it did happen, they should have had at least more credit for it. Like, Leone was shot, and she didn't get any medical help or anything. She had a long time to do so. It was literally night and day. She could have easily survived and been the last 2 characters that survived in the series. Even though our main character, Tatsumi, should have survived as well because it's from the main content. Another thing that I don't like is how the story just flips pages back and forth. Like I already said before, that it switches from comedy to sad to comedy to sad. And by the end of the episode, it's always back to comedy. But literally, even in one episode, it feels like Tatsumi is watching his own series and thinking about the death of a friend that just happened, and the show's like, oh, nope, we're just gonna cover that up with some boobs. Everyone loves boobs, yay. That's gonna get your mind off of dead friend. But no, it doesn't really work like that. And for people that this was an emotional roller coaster for, I'm sort of ashamed, really. How can you get so attached to these characters that the other characters aren't even attached to? And yes, all the characters are actually good people besides two, but the other two are just a little weird. Like, you got the one that can freeze anything in existence and has super big jugs, but she doesn't have any sense of morality when it comes to killing people. She's just like dead and done. But then the other person is just super duper crazy, and it sort of drives people nuts. And a lot of people make fun of her as the most hated character of the year that anime came out, which is pretty funny. But it's just a little awkward that the show doesn't keep everything within one balance. The soundtrack, on the other hand, is very good, but it doesn't fit because it's all sad music, which doesn't fit with the always back to comedy thing the show has. I think in the end, this show has a 7 out of 10, which may be a little better than what it actually deserves, but for the most part, it's a good series, just needs a lot of fixes. Like, a lot of fixes. But I'll see you guys later, so comment, like, and subscribe, and peace out until the next episode.